The demo will showcase installing MariaDB on an IBM Power 8 server. It will utilize PowerVC to deploy a Ubuntu 16.04 virtual machine, install MariaDB 10.1 as documented by the MariaDB Foundation, install XenServer in order to deploy the Magento sample application utilizing MariaDB, and finally explore the environment that was configured with some simple shell and MySQL commands. I've connected to our PowerVC environment, which has already been configured to manage the resources that will be utilized for this demo. Hopefully you are familiar with IBM's PowerVC offering. It's a simple and robust product to manage your power systems environment. The next steps will demonstrate how simple it is to create a virtual machine utilizing this technology. From the home page, navigate to Images. Select the Ubuntu 16.04 image and click Deploy. This section specifies the details for the configuration of the virtual machine to be created. I'll specify the virtual machine name as MDDemo. I'll add a description for the project. Select the target server for the virtual machine deployment. The demo target template was previously defined to select an enterprise Power 8 system during our initial setup of our PowerVC environment. Select the compute template to define the virtual machine's memory and processor configuration. Select the network definition to use, and the next step will be to invoke the deploy. This is just an example of how to define the virtual machine we needed for this demo. There's lots of additional features and configuration options available within the product. Click Deploy, and in a few minutes our virtual machine will be available and ready to proceed with the installation of MariaDB. As I indicated earlier, the MariaDB Foundation has documented the steps to install MariaDB on Ubuntu 16.04. It's very simple. Set up the Ubuntu repository and do an apt install. It's the same procedure for all processor types with the exception of the architecture specified during the install. For power systems, we use PPC 64EL. The PowerVC virtual machine deployment has completed. As the root user, I've SSH'd into the virtual machine and will now run some commands to explore the current configuration. The lparstat command shows the memory and processor configuration that was defined by the PowerVM medium compute template selected during the virtual machine deployment process. The uname command shows we are connected to the MDDemo virtual machine running a Ubuntu PPC 64 Little Endian distribution. The lscfg command shows our physical machine model is a 9119 MHE, which is an IBM Power System E880 server. The dpackagelist command will show no MariaDB packages are currently installed on the system. Without further ado, I will now execute the commands to install MariaDB 10.1. Since I've connected to the virtual machine as root, the sudo is not required, but I included it on the commands to be consistent with the documentation on the mariadb.org website. I have slightly accelerated the video clip to shorten the duration it takes to complete this step. The steps to configure the Ubuntu repository to install MariaDB is complete. Lastly, I will run the apt install command to execute the installation of MariaDB. Set the administrative MariaDB password. The installation of MariaDB has completed. The dpackage list command now shows all the MariaDB packages that got installed. The systemctl status command will show MariaDB has successfully started. The mysql show command lists several databases that were created as part of the MariaDB installation process. Next, I will install a trial version of XenServer and deploy the Magento sample application. I have accelerated the installation video to minimize the amount of time to complete this step. The goal is to simply install an application which will use MariaDB. Run the install script that comes with the downloaded XenServer package. Connect with a browser to complete the XenServer configuration. Deploy the Magento application. Connect to the Magento application to show you that it's running. SSH back into our virtual machine and display the new database that got created. MySQL show command now displays Magento in the database list. Use MySQL show to display the Magento tables that got created. I recommend reading the IBM white paper, Best Practices Guide for IBM Power System Solution for MariaDB, for some additional details on this subject.